Hello, I'm Toycat, and welcome back to the video. Today I have some pretty important Minecraft console news to share with you about the next update coming out for that version of the game, which we're currently calling TU46. So we saw TU46 for the first time yesterday. It's got end cities, end islands. It's a really cool update, but today we saw another screenshot which confirms there's going to be two pretty big features, a reset end option and a brand new tutorial world. I'll be explaining why both those are big deals, how they were confirmed, and a whole bunch more about this update you might not have known in today's video. Hopefully you all do enjoy it. If you do like the video, like it, let me know because it helps out the channel and lets us know you do like the Minecraft console news. But with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we? And let's start by talking about what the big news is, because I tweeted out earlier today saying I wonder when 4J Studios or Roger Carpenter can confirm whether there'll be a reset end option or if you need a new world. Because obviously, if there's no reset end option, you're going to need to start a new world just to get to the end, just to see end cities, elytras, all that big stuff. And later on that same day, which is today, of course, they replied by saying now ? Then a winking face, and they responded with this little picture of the brand new world select menu. So here you can see there is a new option called Reset the End, which says when enabled, the end world will be recreated with new end features, including end gateways, end cities, and chorus plants. So if you have a world where you've already explored the end, you've already set up something in there, you can reset this now. And there's a couple of reasons you want to do this. The first one is the obvious one: go explore those end gateways, end cities, all that stuff. If you want to see the new end features, you can do that in an existing world by pressing this button. But also, if you've messed up your end, or you just want to get more end stone, or fight the end dragon again, you can reset your end and do that stuff. So this is going to be a brand new feature in this update. However, this screenshot also confirms one other thing that I missed at first, and that you might have missed if you're just looking at that, because it is the key feature in the foreground. Because if you look in the background, which is usually blurred, so most people aren't paying too much attention to it, but you'll see that it's actually a brand new background, which means there's a brand new tutorial world, because the background is like a scrolling panoramic of its tutorial world, and that means we've got our first screenshot of the brand new tutorial here, which at first is like kind of cool, because if you want to learn about these new features, like the elytra, which you can see there's a giant one off in the corner there, if you want to learn about these brand new features, this tutorial world is great, because again, you're going to learn how to fly, you're going to learn how to do all these other brand new features. But the reason this is so cool to me is kind of twofold. First of all, it's because, again, it's a brand new world to explore. They usually put a lot of effort into the build, so it's kind of nice to look at. But second of all, it means there's going to be another brand new music disc hunt, and at least for the first few hours, the update out, it's even if the first time you explore it, it's like a mashup pack world, but it's free. It's just a tutorial world that you can go explore and try and find the 12 music discs for. So again, it's a cool challenge that's going to be coming out, and it is going to be with this update. They don't do it every update now. They seem to do it like every other update. But yeah, it looks like there is going to be a brand new tutorial world, as well as a reset the end option. So yeah, this is kind of cool by itself, but that's not everything I wanted to talk about today, because it is a big deal that we're getting these two features, but they're ones that we kind of theorized, and now it's been confirmed for sure. And that also links into what I wanted to talk about, which is something that we've theorized for a while now that hasn't been confirmed yet, which is dual wielding. So yeah, yesterday I just briefly mentioned that, we haven't seen dual wielding confirmed yet, because neither of the screenshots we saw actually have anything to do with dual wielding. And although we don't have any more information on that, there's a few hints if you dig into it that kind of make me think that maybe dual wielding's in there. And the reason I think they haven't announced it is because dual wielding is one of those big divisive features that you don't want to announce. You just want to announce the new end because everyone's excited about that. You don't want to say, and this combat system changed, because there's about, let's say 10% of Minecraft players right now that hate the new combat. Whether that's because they haven't tried it and they've just been told hate it, whether that's because they tried it and they don't like the fact that you have to time. They prefer the current system, which I think is fair, but yeah, some people just hate this combat with passion. So I think they're deliberately not announcing it. Whether it's in there or whether it's not, I think they wouldn't want to announce it. And that's just a theory by itself. But the reason I think that it might be in here and just kind of sneakily not announced is because if you look in this second screenshot from yesterday again, the one where they're in the end tower of the shulkers, you can actually see that one, he's got the bow with the arrows. I showed that off yesterday. How is he going to decide which arrow to fire if there's no dual wielding? Is it just going to be one of those things where it fires a random arrow? That sounds like an awful system. So yeah, if he's got 3 types of arrows, you'd want to have a way to select between the 3. But the other reason that makes me think the new combat is in there is because if you look, you can actually see there's a diamond axe in there. So yeah, if you don't know, in this update, as well as changing around the the hit delays on different weapons, they made it so the axe has a double as long hit delay, but it does a little bit more damage than the sword, which means it's got some situational uses, especially in single player. And yeah, you're going to see right here that he's got an axe on him, which you really wouldn't have in the end. There's no reason to bring an axe to the end with you, especially an undurable axe like that. You would never bring an axe to the end with you unless maybe you're going to use it for combat because you figured it's stronger. I know that's just the theory I have right now. I mean, obviously you can work it out by yourself. But the other small thing, this is a very small thing to add on that, and that makes me think, is the fact that the internal name for this update seems to be 1.10b. So obviously so we'll get into the title updates, naming system later, because a lot of people are confused by that. But let's just start by saying that it seems like the internal name is called 1.10b because these screenshots were called, if you don't know, release 1_10b shot 2. And if you're curious as why it'd be 1.10b, it's because the console follows the PC, but like very vaguely. And the last update was some of 1.10, so presumably that'd be 1.10a, and this is 1.10b. That makes me think this is going to be mostly the 1.10 update, maybe all the features, or maybe it's just the second part of it. But yeah, I would assume that if they're calling it 1.10 something, they'd want to have all the 1.9 features. That's just my theory. Again, have your own opinion on it. The opposite side of this is the fact fact that this is going to be the shortest time between two major updates released ever in Minecraft consoles history. People have been saying for the longest time, like, oh, 4J is sitting on their hands, but it's been, only 2 months, and yeah, 2 months as of now, I think, since the last update release, maybe not even all of that. It's going to be about 2.5 months between the release of, TU43 and the release of TU46. There's going to be, the shortest delay between two updates, and could they get the entire combat system fixed in there, balance it for battle, have all those changes? I don't know for sure, but I will say that I think it's somewhere up in the air. So before we end today's video, on the fact that, there's going to be reset end, there's going to be a new tutorial, but we don't know about the combat, let's talk about the name of the updates. So always the updates for the longest time, actually at the start, the updates were named after the PC equivalent. So it was called 1.6, then 1.7, then 1.0 full release, 1.1 full release, but that got very confusing very fast because they stopped following the PC system directly, so they started calling them Title Update. That was back when there was just the 360, and when other consoles came out, they started having Title Update, let's say Title Update 13, Title Update 13 equivalent. So that's why we call them Title Updates at this point, and the other reason, that makes sense not to switch now, to call them, CU on the Xbox One or whatever, is as long as they're updating for the Xbox 360 still, and, the PS3, etc., the Xbox 360 is the longest console that goes back, so whereas CU can only go up to back to, a CU1, which is the equivalent of like TU12, let's say, TUs can go all the way back through Minecraft's console's history, so they're the best way we have right now to keep track of Minecraft updates. So why do we call them Title Updates? It's because the 360's been around the longest, therefore you can say any update in Minecraft console's history has a TU attached to it. Also, it's just the convention we've used since like TU7 or TU5 now, and long story short, I guess we're going to stick to it for a while. So yeah, we call them Title Updates because of the 360. There's your information on this next update. I'm still very excited for it, and I'll keep you up to date with any and all news I find. I'm so pumped to do so many live streams, check out the new tutorial world, check out the, do a race to the Elytra. So many things I want to do in this update, but for now, I hope you all enjoy the video, because I'll see you all in the next one. So goodbye, everyone.